Alright, welcome to Sprint 6, where we tackle collision. So we have our class collidable here. It's basically like every other component of the game object, except we have a little template function here, which just calls on the collision manager, get type ID, and it gets its unique ID for itself, really. CPP is just standard fare at this point. I'm not really going to go over it. Collidable group, we have a list of collidable objects, which register for that ID, register and deregister, get collider lists so that outside functions can, when we go to check for collisions, we can actually go through the list and compare it. Speaking of the commands, we have our little collision command, we have our test base, we have our dispatch base, and then those are like the two main commands. So we have process callbacks, and dispatch command is the inherited version, and has all this fun stuff. Test pair and test self command are both here. Test self is obviously for testing one group, and test pair is for testing two groups. Hooray! And then we have all of the associated stuff with scene base, set collision pair, and self. Attorney has the collision registration, where we can get the collision manager. And speaking of the collision manager, we have our lovely little thing here, which is giving me no end of trouble. We have our three template classes, self, pair, and get ID, all of which work well. And then I haven't had much time to work on the actual game itself because I've been busy banging my head over this little line right here. I have spent hours debugging this to no avail. It's probably a combination of sleep deprivation and something else, but I for the life of me, I honestly don't know what's going on here. So here we have process collisions. You can see down here that everything has been registered. 0 is world plane, I believe, and 1 is the player itself. These two are from the registration when they initially get their ID. This is from the set the collision pair so that they're checking against each other, and this is check self. So this is the player going to be checking itself for collision of others of its type. So then we go into our first process collisions. We have our iterator, we have begin, we execute, it's fine. And then right as we do the second one, for some reason it goes out of, it can't increment it, even though it's checking for the end, and I don't know. It loops around on itself, which is a weird little, so we have 0, 1, but if we go into the raw view, next, and you can see it just starts to loop, and there it is, that null, which is the head. It's the same as the head, but I've been here since, I think 8, just trying to solve this one problem. So that's all I have. I would love to actually show you the game running, but this I don't know. So that's all I have for this week, and hopefully next week it actually runs.